Alright, hello guys. You know about my computer setup by now and why this doesn't always work in my favor. But I wanted to show you something that I got another video for a survey request video thing for my games, and I wanted to show you one of my favorite games, The Binding of Isaac. Before we get started, this is not for the faint of heart. This game is really better. It might work better. Let's see. Let's see if it does. It's really dark and messed up, and it's really has a bunch of crude humor and disturbing content. It's more or less toying with the corrupt church, or not really necessarily corrupt church, but crazy individuals. I don't know how to categorize it. Anyways, basically you play as a little kid named Isaac who, well, is just come to the realization that his mother has it in for him because a voice claimed that he is unworthy and needs to be sacrificed. So, as you can see, just goes through a roguelike setup, and you have to do everything to well, once you beat this game or go to the final level, I guess you beat the it's really unclear. It's just a lot of fun by the same person who brought us Super Meat Boy and a few other indie titles. It's top-down perspective, a lot like Legend of Zelda. Looks a little bit better. But basically, one joystick moves him, one joystick shoots out tears for projectile weapons. You get power-ups as you play along, and hopefully this shows up a lot better on the screen than my usual games. But you basically, every time you fight a boss, it's not always the same person. You have 10 of them to defeat until the final, which is always going to be fighting, I guess, your mother's leg. It's, like I said, it's really convoluted and hard to follow. It's really, like I said, it's dark and twisted. Kind of reminds me of Alice American McGee's Alice. If ever you've played that game, it is a very, very dark interpretation of Alice, similar to the theme, if you will, of the Grimm's fairy tales, where they were really brutally dark for a point. Basically, to scare the kids into minding their parents is, well, people have often thought. And I just improved stats. I got a couple of black hearts. Um, it it's really interesting and unique game of sorts. And then you go through and go, and he recalls all the times he's been abused in his lifetime, and why he retreats into such a dark, um, world to begin with. Um, and some people, such as Matt Pat from Game Theory, has come up with theories as to what's really going on in this game, such as his mom really doesn't want to kill him. This is we're just playing in his fantasy, and he just a wild and crazy kid. Like, my question is, okay, then why is the kid stark naked? Because in the thing in the story, his mom strips him of his clothes and strips him of his toys, and then finally the voice wants her to kill him, and until that's the only way she'll get blessed or whatever. And Isaac realizes what's going on, and he runs away to find safety in a box. And as you can see, there's a key. I need a key right there. Um, I might find it. I might not. Yeah. Oh, I know that. Okay, there's a special door for another character. Um, it's not. It doesn't have. You cannot go play the same worlds again. You have to hope you find this area when you get the things you need to advance. Let's see here. Let's. Do that one. Let's hope I got bombs in there. R1, L1 is what triggers the bombs. Oh crap! Really? Okay. Well, can't always win. As you can see, you don't always get the power ups because they're sometimes hidden behind stuff. I think the guy who made this is one guy, just one guy who did all of this. I don't know for sure, and I really hope this turns out like I said, because it's a really worthwhile game, and showing this on the camera doesn't do it any justice. I am proud to say that this is the first time I've played it with a Pro Controller, and the Pro Controller works pretty darn well, I must say. Basically, if you want to tie this into a spiritual theme, um, be careful who you listen to. And before you do anything, sometimes you people often fall victim of doing things, and they may not be right that of them to do that, if you will. Like, we all know that killing people is wrong, so I don't think God would demand a sacrifice. God doesn't live in. He's completed the Old Testament, and with the New Testament, he's changed a lot of practices that was in the Old Testament. And even then, in the Old Testament, where, for example, there's a boy named Isaac who is called to be sacrificed. As soon as Abraham, it was more or less to test the faithfulness of Abraham. And Abraham was willing to and about to, but when he got there, he found God found that he was faithful. He knew he would be faithful, and God provided for him a um, he provided for a goat and to sacrifice a goat instead. And but, I mean, this game, if you do various tasks, oh boy, I'm in a dark. Oh shoot. Okay. Well, this one might show up pretty well. Okay. Oh, there it is. As you can see, it's a total random setup. I'm in like one of the earlier um, worlds. Um, there we are. I might just kill myself just to get out of this because I can't see. But um, it's this is pretty. You know, it's a dungeon crawler through and through, and that's kind of why I like it. It's a dungeon crawler, and I often like the mind game type games where totally like has a bunch of puzzles for you to solve and a bunch of things for you to go through and discover. I really like, for example, Willy Wonka, the Nightmare Tunnel scene. I love the visuals. I love what they did with it. I like the big lipped alligator moments that the nostalgia critic would often say or use. I just get a riot out of movies and shows that can properly, successfully implement that. And so far from what I've seen of this game, it pretty much nails that. It's like really out there story. It's one of those, yeah, there's a story, but you really don't need the story. And this is often the first level is often a basic map for you. Larry versus Larry Jr. Oh my goodness. Big giant worm thing. Reminds me of Legend of Zelda. But as you can see, it's got crude visuals. It's one of the reasons why it's an indie title because not very many people want to put things like this in their games. But it's meant for a story to tie in to make a point. It's not supposed to be a pretty game. It's supposed to. This kid really has a screwed up life. He's, you know, this is his only way of you know, day to day living. Is he retreats into this world where there are things like this. He's got an abusive relation. He's in an abusive situation, and this is his only solace, so to speak. And honestly, I you know, in some ways, can relate. I'm not saying I had anything nearly as bad as the portrayal of what's in a video game, but I can relate with the character. We all have our own personal demons to deal with in various different ways. We are all, in some ways, experiencing or have experienced some form of oppression in our lives. Not necessarily within the family. There can be other external factors that, you know, people experience. And, you know, so I don't think that this is the proper place to get into one's personal levels of, you know, abuse, so to speak. That's clearly not for this video. But I was just saying how this character can be relatable. And if you, it's like I said, it's basic. If you want to call it a shmup, I guess you can call it a shmup. You just move around and fire projectiles to kill your enemies. It's really I think it's a really solid put together game. Oh, darker world. Sometimes these particular special rooms have secrets that you get different abilities with to unlock. Let's try that pill. Don't know what's going on in today's show. Oh, good, yeah, get range up. Those pills are often random, so it may or may not be in your best interest to try them always. I'm a risky individual when it comes to games like this. Sometimes I'm willing to see what happens, because if I don't like it or if I die, I can always try something new. Hey, broke it! Yay! IV bag! Oh, I saw that on YouTube. Someone got that. I know what that one does. I'm not gonna get it. I don't know what that one does, but hey. Crown of Thorns, anyone? Ow. Chrome. Let's see. Let's see what this does. What do you do? You don't do anything. Okay. Oh! Tears of Blood. Interesting. Like I said, this game can get darker and darker. It has a point behind it. It's not random. It's telling a story in the visuals. It is M-rated. I wouldn't recommend you let your kids play this if you're a gaming parent like me. This is one of those games for me. My kid won't play this until he's much older, if he really wants to play this game. That goes for, like I said, God of War, Lollipop Chainsaw, Bayonetta, all my M-rated games. I'm going to follow the ESRB. So what's this? What's that do? Monstro! He's one of the easier bosses to fight. Supposedly the Switch game has has all the DLC that's ever been released for this game, or all particular versions. I didn't make it. Oh well, it's such as a lot of this game. And you start back up the thing here. You can mess with the options to get what stat boosts your character has throughout your runs of this game. I think it's a waste of space. It's really just fun to play the game and not worry about what's in the thing. I mean I could, but I just sacrifice space on my you know it'd be a distraction essentially. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, sometimes the little poop piles has coins or whatever. It, it reminds me a lot of Zelda, like Link to the Past, which is my all-time favorite Zelda. Primarily because I cannot stand Navi. that game that I've played it once since then I was a kid, and I cannot stand Navi with the whole. Hey, listen! I got it. I don't need no hand holding. Thank you very much. And you pick up. Hey, it kind of works. All right, it does kind of work. Awesome. I never knew that before. I never had the magnet thing with the where it had coins. It kind of did work. That was awesome. I thought it was just a little fake thing where the kid's like, "Hey, it somewhat works." Like, yes, okay, but yeah, it actually did. That's kind of awesome. A lucky rock has been broken. Okay. Oh shoot. Range down. I shouldn't have gotten that one. But hey, you win some, you lose some. As you saw, sometimes the fireplaces shoot projectiles at you and hurt you. It's really, I mean, peaceful game, whatever. There we go, I got it. Anyone afraid of spiders out there? He's not too terrible. He's just a little jumping spider. Let's go and see what we got. Oh, what's that? Those blood trails hurt you, so. Alright. Anything else in here? Nope, just wasted health. Yeah, those doors hurt you. It's always best if you have black hearts, go in there when you have black hearts. Otherwise, wouldn't recommend it. Oh. Oh well. I didn't know that happened either. All sorts of stuff you learn in this game. You think you know it all. Oh well. Oh, so okay, let's go down here. Some health. Hey, I got my health back. I don't know what that thing does, but hey, I hope it does something. I hope this boss I fight this time isn't gonna knock my socks off. Ah, it's that guy again. Oh, shoot, 4 of them. Oh, oh, my. That's a different way to fight him. That's for sure. Got one of them. 2 of them. Anyone looking forward to the whole Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 coming out in a couple of weeks. Boy, I'm really chomping at the bit to play that one. That I've always had a love for the Marvel games. I've liked playing Ultimate Alliance just because of how off the wall the games could get and how fun they were and how many characters you can introduce. So I'm looking forward to playing that, and might do a video on that one just to, despite everything, just to. Alright, now let's just do some out there randomized handheld gameplay. Let's see if it looks any better. I'm gonna have it set up. Let's see here. Alright. Change grip order. Oh, come on. Hold on a second. Oh, come on. Does that look any better? Let's see if that looks any better. Basically works the same as those doors again. Let's see if I can. Oh, as you saw, that just hurt me. Let's see what happens. Alright! What do I get? Well, let's first take that. Ooh. Ghost, baby. Oh, shoot. Well, hopefully I get at least one extra life. Okay. Odd. I just sacrificed a heart for all that. Never know what happens when you do things like that. Oh, I hope this is showing up for you guys. I prefer to play the Switch games to handheld mode for the most part, just because I'm so used to playing on a Switch tablet, or a tablet. I mean, I can gauge how to use it easier. This isn't a conventional way to play it by any means, having a camera right in front of you, but I wanted to see how this works, and I'm not totally convinced at how well it looks, but I've had issues in the past with you know with my setup, so you guys should know that by now, and I am hopefully one of these days I'll have a made way to fix that. Spider bite. That's gonna produce spiders eventually, if it's possible. Dang. That's true, and people. Right. Usually, always, whenever I play this game, monster is usually the first few that I fight. Usually, always. Like jumbo shrimp. Funny play on words, isn't it? Does look like I am more able to avoid a lot of this stuff, so that's good, I guess. Hey! Give me more stuff. Let's see. And I'm not gonna. Okay. Hey, they made it a heart. Alright. Now, I am in the deeper depths of the dungeon. After you. Once I get out of this, I'll try and go into, there's another mode that's also challenging and fun to play. And it's set up differently than this. And you go through different waves, more or less like an arcade. I wouldn't call it arcade mode, because I don't think that's what the game calls it, but it's essentially arcade mode. um, oh, great. I don't remember where I've been. Fear shots. And, okay. Tar babies. Great. Getting close to wrapping up. Just wanted to show you how this game, and this is more of, I guess you can call it a review. I am in a sorts, well, it's a video. Okay, let's have this exit game. I'm going to show you that, challenges. Eyebrow, trauma. Let's go to... Oh, I'm not going to do any of this. Challenges, stats, options. Do a new run. Oh, there's agreed. Let's go to continue. It's got interesting music. I'm just going to play till I get killed. So I guess no, I don't have an eternal life, Isaac. You sort of thought wrong with your thing. But I can play this game forever. That's how much I love this game. Now, when you want to compare this game to, say, something like Bendy and the Ink Machine, that too is an independent indie game. And it's really a lot of fun. Alright. Like I said, I can essentially play this game forever. Beat that little guy. But I originally had this game when it was first released for the Switch. I had to sell it for basically gas, groceries, what have you. And I picked it up again, and the guy at my local Gamestop was like, "Hey, you should frame this one this time because it's like your favorite game." I was like, "Yeah, I know." It's a really, I mean, if you can get past the weird story, it's worth playing. Oh, turned fire. Basement 1 all over again. I'm going to stop this right here. Close that out. And we're going to look at you guys. There's my beautiful mug right there. It's 38 minutes. Wow. You guys have a wonderful evening. Talk to you in the next video.